Ain't a damn thing changed. You could still get the work. What's up, my dudes? Why don't we take a little journey back in time to 2017 RF Southwick? Whoa, a track that actually has skill gap on the first lap? No way, bro. You actually have ruts on the first lap? You can actually have fun on the track on the first lap and you don't have to run 15 laps on it before you get any hardcore ruts and roughness? Dude, no way, bro. There's no way. That's not, it can't be possible. You can actually play on it in single player and actually have fun on the track? Holy shit, dog. No way, dude. You can go play on the track 10 years from now and it's actually still fun because there's ruts and roughness on the track? Bro. Oh my God. You can go race with 5 of your buddies and still have fun on it? Dude, come on. Gotta hit him with the work, dog. So I wanted to come take a look back at the 2017 RF National of Southwick, right? So this is basically right before they started doing the whole Erode thing. Just wanted to refreshen some of your dudeski's memories here because I feel like something's wrong with it. I really do. By the way, haven't been playing a crapload MX simulator here lately. Been waiting on RF to get their shit together. So yes, I did crash a couple times in this gameplay, but hey, it's like I ain't really been playing this game that much, but I do want to get back into it hardcore again. But it's just kind of hard to do that when RF is literally going at an absolute turtley pace, turtley pace. So, for them to get their shit together, but, that's the way it is. So either way, basically, this right here, I want you guys, some of you guys that are really big Erode advocates of this game, go back and ride on 2017 Southwick, okay? And you tell me how good the roughness and the ruts feel on this track. And just to, kind of mention this aspect of it, this is 2017, okay? So imagine that we never even went down that Erode route, right? Imagine we just kept going down the pre-made route. And if you guys know this game, basically every year, in general, they try to beef up the skill gap of the tracks, right? So they're going to, if you go back from like the 2010 tracks up to 2017, every year they get a little bit rougher, little bit more ruts, more skill gap. The jumps get more skill gapped, right? So you just imagine a 2017 track like this and the way the ruts and the roughness is on this, but just amp that up by about 15 to 20%. And that's technically what we should have had in 2019 had we never went down the Erode route. So just imagine. Now, I know some of you guys that are like big Erode advocates are going to get on this track and be like, well, it's not quite rough enough, right? It's not quite ruddy enough. It's not quite got that roughness skill gap. Well, that's because this track was made in 2017, right? Imagine this kind of roughness and rut design, but about like 15 to 20% more of it, right? And even better yet, this could be like the way this 2017 Southwick track is, this could be like your first moto version of a track, and then you could have a 15 to 20, maybe a little bit rougher than this, right, for your first moto track, and then have like a 15 to 20% more roughness and rut track than that for your Moto 2 version. That would be a really cool way to do it right there. But basically, I just wanted to go back and show this shit right here, dude, because this is where it's at, dog. I mean, seriously, guys, this is what made this game so amazing. Like, a lot of you guys get this weird idea in your head that somehow MX Simulator just couldn't make it without Erode. Somehow MX Simulator, would just be so terrible without a terrain deformation system, or it would die if it didn't have Erode, right? And, oh my God, there wouldn't be enough different line options and wouldn't have enough line options. I gotta love when people say that right there. I swear to God, something wrong with their memory, dude. Because up until this point, Erode has been the most one-line thing that has ever happened to this game. Do you guys not remember back in the past 2 years of racing Supercross in this game with Erode? Are you kidding me, guys? Come on now. It was literally the opposite of having multiple lines. It was literally one giant motocross berm in every single corner, and you had to go. It literally forced you into one line. You know how when you ride on a track with like 3 or 4 ruts in a corner, like a pre-made track, it doesn't force you into one line, but the way Erode has been in Supercross, it literally forced you into one line. And then at the beginning of the motocross season this year, whenever they basically had no pre-made ruts and roughness and expected the Erode to do everything, it would just make one giant rut where everybody went and then make it one-lined anyways. It's not until this point now where they started actually listening to me and Hunter Root and Alexis Leclerc, us telling them to do more of the 80% pre-made, 20% Erode vibe. Now we're to the point where you're actually starting to get more multiple lines and stuff because you have a lot more pre-made with a very low Erode, right? But it just cracks me up, dog, how people act like this game just wouldn't make it without Erode. I think some of you guys, the real problem is you're getting confused with what you want MX Simulator Erode to be and what real life actual motocross, track deformation really is. It's like you're getting those two things confused. And some of you guys need to go back and seriously look at the 2019 Adam Cincerillo Unadilla 250 Moto 2 helmet cam on YouTube. Go look that shit up right now and go look at that. And I swear to God, on lap 1, the ruts and the roughness was literally 3 times as much as it was on lap 1 of the MX Simulator Unadilla 2019 Pro Race. The ruts and roughness were 3 times that much, dog. Like, you can't be having that. You just can't. Like, there's no way, bro. That don't even make any sense. Like, you can't do that. That's what I'm saying. My whole point to everything, and I know some of you guys, I think you got my little last Erode rant video a little bit misconstrued in the sense of like, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you when you say that Erode is so much better now at Unadilla than it was at the beginning of the motocross season. I completely agree with you. That's my whole point. But the fact is they're 8 rounds late, and we told them to do all this shit 8 rounds ago, right? Like, I'm not disagreeing with you in the sense that, some of you guys that are saying Erode is so much better now, I totally agree with you. Of course it's so much better now because you actually have pre-made and a lot less Erode versus having the Erode trying to make everything. But my whole point, and that's what I'm saying, this is about the best that we can get when it comes to Erode on a motocross track, right? I would say they're probably somewhere around the neighborhood of maybe like 70% pre-made, 30% Erode, or somewhere close to that now with Unadilla, right? Basically like a 2015 RF pre-made track with Erode on it, pretty much. Basically, if they go any more, see, they're starting to get to that point where they can't really go any more on the more pre-made with less Erode. I mean, they can do that, but they're getting to the point to where it ain't even going to make that much of a difference anyways, okay? That's kind of my whole thing that I'm getting at right here. And when you go back and look at the Adam Cincerillo Unadilla 250 Moto 2 2019 lap 1, those ruts are so freaking deep, dog. The roughness is so hardcore. I mean, does the ruts get maybe a little bit more gnarly throughout that one race? Yeah, they do, but it is so goddamn minuscule. It's so slight. It's so small. It's not even really enough to force the top riders out of that main line. It's not that big of a deal. Some of you guys getting this whole idea that MX Simulator has all these multiple line options and Erode gives you all these multiple options and stuff like that. Let's just be completely honest, guys. When you talk about real life motocross, they don't really change that. It ain't like they're changing lines every single lap because the track's getting so much rougher within that one individual moto. Now, you may have some dudes changing lines because they see somebody else hit a faster line. That may happen. Or you may see some different people hitting different lines because they have different riding styles. That may happen. But to literally have people be forced into different lines to have different line options because of the deformation of the track in that one individual moto, it's not that big of a deal in real life, guys. It's not that big of a thing, as what some of you guys are thinking it is. It's really not. That's more of a thing on a Seattle Supercross track or a Mudder or something like that. It ain't that big of a deal in your average, ordinary, standard race. It's not really like you have that much of changing lines like that in one individual moto, even in real life. It's like some of you guys expect there to be 35 different thousand changing lines over the entire race with a road and race calling. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's just really not how it is. I mean, like, you got to understand, when you get to a pro level, it becomes one-lined anyways. Even in real life, it becomes one line. That's just the way it is, because you find the fastest line on the track, a lot of people figure it out, and then everybody goes in that one line. That's just the way it is. But, like, you got to understand, if you made seven narrow ruts in one straightaway, one little straightaway section, or 7 narrow ruts right side by side in one corner, I swear to God, it wouldn't fill that one line to you without a road and just pre-made. You understand what I'm saying? It really wouldn't fill that one line like you're thinking. But when you have something like this, where it's basically, let me just kind of show you, right? And remember, this is a track from 2017, okay? We would have way more roughness and way more ruts had it been a 2019 pre-made RF track versus 2017. So look at this right here. Basically, there's pretty much just 2 big sand berms in this corner. Kind of sort of got an inside one right there. Nobody's taking that shit. But, you got 2 outside sand berms right here. So, yeah, when you only have 2 berms in the corner or 2 ruts in the corner, it's going to fill one line. But that's the track design. That's not like, Erode giving you so many more line options. It's not even really like that, dudes. And like, for instance, this corner right here, right? You pop over this and you basically got 4 to 3 ruts in this corner. And it does feel like it has more lines in that sense, depending on how fast you come into the corner is going to depict which rut you can actually hit. But it's just like anything. I mean, if you sit down and ride, 250 laps on one individual track, you're going to be laser lining on the track. That's just the way it is. Even in real life, if Eli Tomac rode 100 laps on one track, he's going to be laser lining that track. Have you not ever watched Supercross or motocross? It's not that frequent that they're sitting there just changing lines all over the place because of the terrain deformation itself. Because of the track deformation itself. It's not that. It's because they're either trying to change lines to pass somebody, or, they see somebody else hit a different line, or they learn a different line after riding a few laps on the track. It's not that the terrain, its deformation itself is literally forcing them into a different line, like some of you guys are acting like what Erode should do or needs to do in MX Simulator. That's my whole point. It's not even that big of a deal anyways. And like I'm saying, the more pre-made they go, the less Erode they go, the better the track feels, the better the racing experience feels. They're going to get to that point where it's like 90% pre-made and 10% Erode, and then it becomes to where it's literally so small a road that it's not even really making that big of a difference anyways. It's not really making more lines anyways. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to get to that point, and then it's just going to be like, what's the point anyways? There is no point. You might as well just have a badass, pre-made track. And the thing about it is, a lot of you guys are forgetting the whole aspect of when you have pre-made ruts and roughness, you can actually make like different types of designs of ruts and roughness on a track and deformation. For instance, think about the difference of the ruts and roughness on a Southwick track versus a Washougal track. Think about how different that is. Think about the difference of the ruts and the roughness from a Washougal track to a like a Hangtown track. Completely different. Think about the difference of the ruts and roughness and the way the actual track is designed from a Hangtown track to a Redbud track. Totally different, right? Well, you can actually create those differences of rut and roughness filling, and actually the personalization and the design of the rut. You can actually make different rut designs with pre-made versus Erode basically making the same kind of ruts and roughness regardless of what kind of track you're on. It's another ginormous aspect that a lot of you guys are just completely sweeping under the rug. Like, you can turn your Erode lower or higher to make more ruts and roughness or less ruts and roughness, but it's not like it's really making different kinds of ruts and roughness. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can go in there and make really small, narrow, individual, deep ruts like you would have on a Unadilla track, right? You can go in there and have that, or Let me figure out where the hell I'm at. I think I crashed a little bit on this gameplay, but that's okay. You know, you can go in there and have your individual deep Unadilla ruts like you have pre-made and have like 7 or 8 ruts in one corner like you would have in real life, or you can go in there and have like smoothed out sand berm, you know, like sand choppy through the corner berm ruts and roughness on like a sand track. You can create that pre-made. See, Erode in the Terrain Deformation MX Simulator can't make that difference. You understand what I'm saying? It can't produce that difference of actual personalization of the ruts and roughness on each individual track. It can't do it. It's going to make the same kind of ruts and roughness regardless of what kind of track you're on. That makes no sense at all. That is literally retarded in any way that you think about it. And some of you guys, you're getting so off on the, it's not all about that, you know, lap 10 to 15 in the actual pro race of the national race. That's not everything, people. You have to think about the community. You have to think about people going in there and riding on that track in single player and how fun that's going to be and how qualifying is on that track. You know how annoying that is getting on on one of these motocross tracks that has really small pre-made roughness and ruts on it, and literally Joe Blow amateur that's never ran a real race in his life can keep up with the fastest pros in the game when it's the first couple laps on the track because there's no skill gap to it at all. There's no roughness. There's no ruts. Anybody can keep up with anybody. That's so annoying because then you can't even get ahead of anybody in qualifying, and it's just a clusterfuck and a half. It's overcomplicated everything. You know, you have to think about going at the replayability of that track 10 years from now. You know, are you really going to be able to go and experience that what you guys experienced in the pro race 10 years from now on that track? Probably not. It's probably not going to be that way at all. You know, and you try to go in there and ride on that certain track with 5 of your buddies, good luck getting that road setting right where you don't have to run 10,000 laps to create anything, or you got way too high of a road setting that it just creates it janky anyways, and it's not even how you want the track to be designed anyways. When you have a hardcore ruts and roughness pre-made track, you can't beat that because you can create it exactly how you want it to be. You can design it exactly how you want it to be. You don't have to rely on the terrain deformation Erode system to make it. You understand what I'm saying? That's the whole difference. And that's my whole point. Some of you guys saying it creates more lines, it's more realistic because it's changing over time. It ain't that big of a deal in real life racing. It's really not. You guys are blowing it out of proportion. Maybe it is on a Seattle Supercross track that gets really like, you know, deep ruts on it and stuff, and you have to go in a different line. Like one time in the race, it forces you to go in a different line. Or a mudder, you know, you might have to go in a different line because they've rutted up some section too much. But just in default, general, most tracks out there, it ain't even like that, bro. It ain't even like that it's really forcing you in different lines. And like I'm saying, if you put more pre-made ruts in the corners, you're going to have more line options than what you had right before they started having the terrain deformation in MX Simulator. Like, for real, guys. That's what I'm getting at is we're nearly to the point to where you've got so much pre-made, like on Unadilla 2019, and if they keep amping up the pre-made, it's not even like the terrain deformation is really going to create different lines at that point anyways. It's just going to make your ruts, you know, 5 to 10% deeper in every, you know, throughout every one of the motos, but that's not really going to be enough to make you want to force you to change lines anyways. So what's the point anyways? There is no point, right? You see what I'm saying? In all reality, if you want me to directly compare this to real life motocross, right? You know how with the road right now in Unadilla, it's like I said, it's probably like they're doing about 70% pre-made and 30% a road, which is still quite a bit of a road, right? But the real life racing is pretty much more like 90 to 95% pre-made and, you know, 5 to 10% actually deforming the track within that one moto. It's so slight, it's not even funny, dude. I mean, literally, go look at the helmet cam. Go look at the first laps of the helmet cams of Unadilla, man, of Moto 2. It is a gnarly-ass track, like, from lap 1. Go look at first lap races on Loretta Lynn's. Ruts are gnarly as shit. Are they really changing that much? See, that's the whole confusion. That's what people aren't understanding. it's like they're trying to act like, and I got the key right here, boys. This is the whole confusion that a lot of the RF and Erode fanboys have, is they're looking at it from a standpoint of, like, for instance, imagine Loretta Lynn's perfectly prepped. Nobody's ever even touched a titty of a tire on the track. Nobody's gotten on the track at all. And it's perfectly prepped, perfectly smooth, everything's smooth on the track, right? See the Erode fanboys, they look at that like it should go from that to insane, rough, gnarly ruts like you know of in the moto racing at Loretta Lynn's. They expect that to happen within one individual moto and then completely wipe itself, and then that happen all over again every single moto, every single practice, and that's not the way it is. That, you can go look at the motos and the races of Loretta Lynn's. It's not like it goes from perfectly prepped Loretta Lynn's to super rough-ass, ruddy Loretta Lynn's. They don't even do that, right? See, that's the whole difference. That's that sort of going from 0 to 100 deformation on the track. Yeah, it does that when you consider early in the morning, perfectly prepped track, nobody's touched their tire to the track, and then to the very last 450-second moto of the day, yeah, there's quite a bit of change of the track when you consider it like that, but not within one individual moto, okay? Not within, like, the start of Moto 2 to the end of Moto 2, or the start of Moto 1 to the end of Moto 1. It ain't changing that much, dog. And that's what I'm saying. You could have like a not as ruddy and rough of a track Moto 1 version and a more rough track for Moto 2. And that would be more realistic than having an actual terrain deformation in MX Simulator. I swear to God, it would be more realistic. I swear to God. And you guys just, you can't realize, a lot of you guys do realize that. Hell, we outvoted Erode on the forums. So a lot of you guys do understand what the hell I'm saying, but some of you guys just still, you're not understanding, you're not getting it. You're fantasizing about something that's not even really how it is in real life. You're fantasizing about this super changing over time in one individual race to give you these changing lines and shit. And you're not, the problem is I feel like you're comparing it back to tracks that we wouldn't even have in 2019 had we not had Erode at all. That wouldn't even be how it would be. It would be like this 2017 Southwick track, but with 15 to 20% more ruts and roughness on it. Imagine the skill gap. Imagine the fun. Imagine the single-player fun you could have on a track like that. Imagine the replayability. Imagine the longevity. Imagine the coming back to the older tracks. Imagine the being able to race on it with your buddies and having that skill gap on lap 1. Like, dogs, there's just so much more fun to be had on it. Oh, and by the way, RF is going in there and making, like rough versions of their tracks, which is not like actually, they're not riding on the rough version in the pro race. It's not like that. They're making a rough version for people so that people can actually come back and ride on a version of the track that's not, super smooth, small ruts on it. And really, that's just damage control of an even bigger problem. And that's proven my whole point to begin with. If you have to go in there and make a rough version, come on, dog. Like, that's so retarded. Why don't you cut the bullshit and just make a rough version for the actual race and have a smoother version for the actual race, and then you just have two versions of your motocross tracks. And it's just simple. There's no Erode. You don't have to worry about all the bullshit. Oh, dogs. And like I'm saying, this is probably the best the Erode will ever be in MX Simulator, the way it is now, right? And yeah, it's way better than it was the beginning of the season. That's why I told them, Hunter Root, Alex Leclerc, told them at round 1 and 2 to go in there and have 80% pre-made and 20% Erode. That would be the best you could have with Erode. And it is probably the best situation you can have with Erode. And, they acted like we was crazy. We didn't know what we was talking about. We were just, RF knows best. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, boys. We know what's going on. Stop complaining. All you guys are doing is complaining. I remember specifically Jeremy Cohenhauer literally acting like, at round 2, guys, when we were flat tracking no ruts, he was literally like, I don't know if we can go any more pre-made. I don't know if it can handle that. I don't know if we can do that. I don't think we can do that, guys. And then here we are, Unadilla, and they're literally, 3 times the amount of pre-made is what they was at at Fox Raceway in Hangtown at the beginning of the season, just like I told them to do back then. Here they are, and now, oh, the Erode feels so much better. Oh, there's way less lag. Oh, yeah, you idiots. It's because they did what I told them to do. You got to understand they did what I told them to do. Now we're kind of to a second layer of it, where it's like, you want an even better racing experience? You want even more realistic ruts? You want even better, different, unique ruts between round to round and, actually better roughness, better ruts, more skill gap, better for the entire community as a whole, not just the 1% of pro racers that run that one pro race, right? Better for the entire community as a whole. Then go in there and completely take a road out and make your tracks even more amped up roughness, more amped up ruts, more ruts going up the jump face like a road can't develop at all, more ruts going in a straight line like a road can't develop at all. All that kind of stuff, man. And I swear to God, it's not as one-lined as you think, especially, think about this, guys, okay? This is a big fixer to the whole, pre-Erode MX Simulator was way too one line. That's like what everybody tries to say now. But listen, if you go in there and have literally 1 hour qualifying sessions and nobody's ever seen that track before then, and you only get 1 hour to ride on the track before you pro race, I swear to God, it won't be one line like you think it will be. People will be learning different lines, and once they actually get into the race, they'll try different lines during the actual motos of the race. That's how it's supposed to be. Not this bullshit open qualifying fucking Johnny PP Pants run 3,000 laps on the track. Of course it's going to get fucking one-lined when you're doing that. Of course it is. That's the way it is. If Eli Tomac went in there and rode 300 laps on one track, if he could somehow magically qualify like you do in MX Simulator, open qualifying, fucking run 300 laps on a track before you race on it, then yeah, Eli Tomac would have one laser-lined, lap on the track and go in one area on the track. Dude, how do you guys not fucking understand that? Like, the whole open qualifying is what's creating that super one-lined, laser-line vibe thing. When you only have 1 hour before qualifying, without a road, right, and just the pre-made, just 1 hour before qualifying, it's not that one line, dude. It's not like you're thinking, especially if you add more ruts like I'm talking about on top of everything else. It's not that one line. And even in real life, it's pretty one fucking line in real life as it is anyways. I mean, good God, bro. Like, you guys are acting like real life just has 10,000 different line options that are constantly dynamically changing every single lap. No, dude. Terrain deformation in a road has literally, like, brainwashed people. It's literally made people think that actual real-life track deformation is more than what it is, and it's not. It's that these motocross games are trying to prove to you that, hey, we can have actual change of terrain on the track because it's a whole feature of a motocross game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look at all this changing of the track over time in one moto. Look at all this shit. It's like, it's trying to make you think that it's more than what it is, and it's trying to be more than what it even is in real life, which is such bullshit. I'm telling you guys, god damn, I could sit here and talk about that shit till the end of time, and you're not going to change my mind. You're not going to do it. And some of you guys say, Spencer, you don't even race anymore. Stop complaining. Oh, right. Listen, I don't even have to race anymore. I predict what they're going to do 3 months ahead of time. And that sounds so fucking familiar. Stop complaining. Oh, yeah, just like all the RF officials told me whenever I told them to make more pre-made ruts and roughness back on round 2. Oh, right. And then now they're doing that exact thing 8 rounds later? Oh, right. Yeah, I need to stop complaining. Oh, right. Got it, dog. Got it. Yeah, I'm going to listen to your dumbass. Okay. Yeah. You gotta love it, bro. You gotta love it. Oh, my God. It's just too good, man. One day they'll learn. One day they'll get it. But they're not getting it right now. I mean, they're getting it in the sense of, yeah, it feels so much better than it did at round 2, but why the hell did it take this long? Had they done all that at round 2, we'd already be to the point to where we're 90% pre-made and 10% Erode, and it would be way fucking better than it is right now. And then, had they already done that, then we would already be to the point to where they completely took Erode out, and it's way better than it is even then. And we're even better off. Oh, shit. Imagine that. We voted Erode out. What more is there to say? What more is there to say? We voted it out on the forums, people. Like, and need I go back to that video, but I have to say this because it's so important. That's counting all the, that was an Erode vote after you've already killed all the people off that didn't like Erode. They're already gone from this game. They don't even want to play this game anymore. So they weren't even a part of that vote system. And then you still had all those people that wanted just a little bit of Erode, or like 20% Erode. They're still going to vote to have Erode in the game. And we still outvoted them. All of those people that just said don't have any Erode in it, we still outvoted them. You have got to be kidding me, dog. And then RF still wants to have it in there. Still wants to. How could you even? Your community literally has voted on something, and you still want to do the complete opposite. Whew, man, ain't nothing more to say. It's just, it's sad. It's sad, and it's sad. I mean, that's just all there is to it, man. Spoke in my mind, said all the shit I need to say. Don't just listen to one aspect of my video and then selectively block out the rest of my video. You need to listen to every little aspect of my video to get the full effect. And all of my rant videos on Erode, you got to listen to everything I'm saying, everything I did say. It's like, dog, if I was so wrong, then why the hell did they do exactly what I told them to do 8 rounds ago? I wasn't wrong then. I ain't wrong now, you dumbasses. I'm telling them to do this now, and I seem so crazy. They say I'm so wild. They say I don't know what I'm talking about, just like they did back in, Fox Raceway in Hangtown when I told them to have 80% roughness and 20% Erode. And, oh, you're crazy. That could never happen. Oh, my God, you guys are so insane. And then look at them now 8 rounds later. Now they're doing exactly what I told them to do 8 rounds ago. Now I'm telling them take it completely out because it's pointless and make your tracks more pre-made roughness and ruts and have a rougher Moto 2 version. It'll solve all your problems, make the community better all the way around. Tell them to do all this. They say I'm crazy. But I guarantee you, if they do it, it'll be back to the heyday of MX Simulator. Everybody will come back. More people start playing the game. More people start making content on the game. More people start online racing on the game. Your online racing community will start to build again. There will be actually a reason to, play the game online, right? You can go on there on single player. See, it affects both aspects of it. That's the crazy part. Erode literally kills the online racing and kills the single player racing of the tracks. Like, god damn, it kills every aspect of it. Oh, boys. Then they got to try to go in there and make a rough version, even though they're doing Erode. Like, do a little more damage control, RF. There you go, bud. When you could have just took all that shit out and had the perfect game to begin with. Like you had before. There was no problem with MX Simulator before. The whole point of this video. MX Simulator was just fine. It doesn't have to have terrain deformation. It doesn't have to have Erode. Now, with MX Simulator 2, and actually design a proper terrain deformation system and feature to the game for MX Simulator 2, yeah, I can understand that. But not with the original MX Simulator that was never even actually made for it. No, you don't need to have that. Stop trying to change the perfect formula of MX Simulator. Stop trying to fix something that wasn't broken, has never been broken. Matter of fact, was just getting better and better and better until you put Erode in the game. Supercross tracks are getting more skill gap, going from 2010 all the way up to 17. Motocross tracks are getting more skill gap, roughness, ruts, more fun factor, more skill. The Supercross tracks were getting a little bit bigger scale, more jump fun factor, quad fun factor. Erode kills every bit of that. Literally. Oh, man. Either way, boys, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.